After my Panhead's trip to Japan, it made it back to Long Beach, and I needed to go pick it up. Luckily, there was a bunch of cool stuff going on that weekend, so I made the trip out. Unfortunately, there was crazy winds and fires as well. I rolled out to Long Beach, picked the bike up, and then went to dinner with my friend Dave. Here's the carburetor. After sitting on the ocean, the fuel gelled up in the carb, and I got some water in the magneto, so the bike needed a little tune-up. Here's Dave putting his magic foot on it, getting it fired up. So I kind of did a once-over on everything and got the bike dialed in, got it packed up that night, and ready to go in the morning. My friend Andre and Tim, they invited me to ride with them up to Palm Springs for the Paradise Road Show, and then the next day we're going to go to the Biltwell Parts and Labor Show. So first gas stop in, the nut on my kicker gear stripped off. And so this guy at Gerald's Muffler Shop in Riverside was nice enough to weld it back on for me. Here we are up at Paradise Roadshow in Palm Springs. Tons of cool bikes, lots of friends. Really beautiful sights and no snow. We went to dinner with my friend Ryan Cox at this Jewish deli. It was super good. Got a pastrami sandwich. Here we are making the journey over to Del Mar. We went up and over the mountain. I had never been out there. I had no idea how nice the ride was. If you ever get a chance, you should do it. That ride from Palm Springs to San Diego was really beautiful. Here I am kind of coasting down the hill. The bike was running pretty good. Had a couple issues. My gas cap wasn't venting correctly, and I had to kind of play with the timing a little bit, so you may hear a couple sneezes in there and whatnot, but otherwise, the bike was great. Once again, just thankful to be out of the snow. It's been kind of cold and gloomy and rainy in Salt Lake, so the sunshine was, obviously a treat. And there wasn't too much smoke from the fires up in LA. Here we are at my friend Jason James's shop/house. I've got an interview with him if you haven't watched it. This is his dad's 32 Roadster that was built in the 70s, and now Jason's been taking care of it. Here's Tim getting the cheesecake and key lime pie all dialed in for our late night snack. Here we are in Del Mar at the Parts and Labor Show. There was a bunch of really cool bikes there. I was kind of surprised. There was a really cool range of stuff, choppers, stalkers, bobbers, trackers, pretty much anything you wanted. There was some cool stuff. And this was like kind of an expo as well, so there was people selling parts, and you could buy Biltwell, scratch and dent kind of stuff, clear out their warehouse at the end of the year. Here's Mike Davis's Triumph with the cool Nathan Sykes paint and molded tank. Thing looks like a blast to ride. Here's Grant's new Big Twin Flathead. The thing is just... So after hanging out at the show for a couple hours, we had some lunch and then hit the road. Here we are in, I think this was Dana Point, South Laguna. Once again, just beautiful weather out. My motor is pretty much brand new, so this weather was perfect. I was going easy on the motor, and the weather was like just cold enough to keep everything nice and cool, keep it from overheating. Here's Andre on his Panhead with its fresh facelift. We did that back in September when he was out here for Party at the Pen. And then here is Tim on his Shovelhead. He's got the full Judas Priest look going on with the Crazy Franks and the Rob Halford tank. Look at that coastline. It's awesome. We made it like 10 miles from getting back to Dave's shop, and Andre's Masterlink popped off. So we had to stop and get him picked up. Here I am back at Dave's, just kind of taking it in. I made it. We went to dinner with Harpoon that night, got some Japanese curry and ramen. That was awesome. And then I just hit the road in the morning, headed through Vegas. So I stopped off at my buddy Mike Rabidou at Magic Mike's Cycles. If you ever get a chance to go past his place, it's really nice. I mean, he's got such a cool setup, tons of artwork, a boatload of cool bikes. He lives and works in his shop, and it's just he's curated a really cool spot. I'm jealous of the detail in his in his place, because he's just got it really dialed in. He also has a bunch of Richie or Scene. He's a famous graffiti artist. He's got a bunch of Richie's bikes on display. Richie had a collection. He's starting a museum of old choppers, and so Mike's got a bunch of those on display. The Big Twin, the Exorcist from Denver's, and one of my personal favorites, and just the craziest custom paint job ever on the Freight Train. Freight Train 2, Sonny Boy painted it, and it is just a crazy bike. That's this digger up top here. If you ever get a chance to look at that bike in person, it's amazing. The molding and bodywork is crazy. So that's that.